Let me do et al. For a brief moment, just because I want to clarify this. Does anybody know what et al. Refers to? It's a little Latin notation. Does anybody remember the Evans citation here? And others. So that says that there's more than two authors. So if I say Evans et al., that means Evans is the first one. I need Evans because I need to find it on my works cited entry. But then I've got other people too.
Could you type out other people, or would
In the in-text citation, I could, Robbie, but it would start to get really long. And I don't want to have it complex, and that's why they developed the et al. Notation to clarify. If there are two, you would include both, because two is usually pretty easy. Evans and Jones.
two or more?
More than two, you use the et al. Yeah. Connor.
My question was, say after that,
Yeah.
like before this result, so if we
Yes.
put another sentence of your own opinion, how do you differ that from the rest of the sentence?
That's an excellent question, Connor, and it's one of those questions. So Connor's asking, I want to make sure to record this. If I included another sentence after Evans et al., but it's not from smoke-free lists, maps, and data, how do I know? It's one of those issues where I can tell when the sentence starts to talk about data. And I can tell when the sentence is not talking about data. This sentence right here, a federal ban would change that, is not talking about data. Look at this one. It announces that it's talking about data by saying evidence. So a good writer, and I'm sorry, I'm now patting myself on the back, a clear writer, as I am being in this, will show which sentence is research and which sentence is not. And that writing, in conjunction with period placement and in-text citation, tells the whole story of what's research and what's not. MLA is a beautiful system. It tells a lot of information that's not told explicitly. Robbie?
So wouldn't
Yeah.
it be easy to like tell by conclusion when they use it, like when they were like evidence or like result, like you did, like something that was like goes in the data?
Would it be easy to use that? Is that what you're asking? Or clear to use that?
Yeah.
Yeah, you should. You should use words like that. Data shows, studies show, the evidence shows, something like this. And that announces.
Wouldn't that be one way to tell that that's where the
Yes, correct. One way to tell that is by using language like that, and then the period and the in-text citation locks in the information to make it absolutely clear.
So most of your writing is going to be from other articles?
Yeah, in fact, most of mine right here, virtually all of my paper is not my own ideas, it's research. What I did as an original author is I did the research and I arranged it such that it makes sense. But almost all the sentences are my paraphrasing somebody else's resources. Sarah? Go ahead.
And let's say you took two sentences from source,
Mm-hmm.
and you're in the corner of your paper and then cite them, but in between the sentences or in between the stuff in your source, you kind of like made sentences your own words, kind of just like.
That's fine. That's fine.
You could cite it and say that it was all from the source.
Yes. However, if there's, Sarah, if there's a distinct break, like there's a sentence in there that is just distinctly your own, then I would expect to see two in-text citations. Yep. And but you can avoid that by not creating that problem in the first place. But if you feel the need to, two in-text citations will work fine.
Why do you have to have the citations at all?
It goes over to that?
Yeah, and what does that matter? First of all, you're taking someone else's ideas, yeah. But also, if I want to know, where did this come from? I don't think that's right. I don't think it's 23 states. I think it's 40 states. Then I can look it up here, can't I? Because I can go to the works cited page and find that and look it up myself. And if you're writing a paper in college, sometimes people will do that.
Remember the papers like this, and you don't really get this a lot in high school, but papers like this are supposed to be part of a community of discussion. And I love the debate project because it really starts to show you that. I know you do your own papers, you write them for high school English classes or social studies classes, and you never really think like you're talking to anybody but the teacher. And for the most part, that's true. But when you get into college and you start doing this material seriously, you're supposed to be talking to somebody. It's supposed to be a document that somebody can pick up and kind of have a discussion with you. And part of that discussion, as Mrs. Kozak said, is questioning and checking your evidence. They should be able to ask you, where'd you get that stat? But it's a dead piece of paper. So how can they ask you that question? With a works cited. And it is part of the plagiarism issue. It is being honest, saying what is yours, and it's helping the person who's listening to you find out more. So it must be there. It's absolutely essential. And if anybody thinks that MLA or APA or bibliographies are just something that's kind of secondary to writing, no, they are the core of research writing. It's your discussion with somebody else.
And please note, when you do an MLA format, don't look at grammar check.
Don't look at the green marks. That will distract you. I'm going to give you one last little rule, one last little piece of information that can help you. And hopefully this will be as clear. I'm glad that I'm seeing a lot of clarity from a lot of students. I'm sure that somebody out there is not totally clear, but that's fine. You'll have time to question. See, I have a quotation here. Tom Head of About.com asks if the government blah, blah, blah. I have a quotation. No citation. Can somebody tell me why? Yeah, Daniel. Thank you, because if the information is in the sentence, I don't need it in the parentheses. So Daniel, if you're looking for that quotation, where are you going to look on my works cited page? No. No. What are you going to look for? Head. And there it is. You wouldn't look about.com because that's a website name, and you know that'll be the second or third piece of information in, but Tom Head would be the first piece. But look at this. Smoke-free lists, maps, and data never appears in my sentences, so it must appear in the parentheses. Connor.
Does it matter which way you do it?
What do you mean? Does it?
Like,
Oh, no. It doesn't really matter so much, Connor. You'll get a sense of what seems to work and what doesn't. Here, I didn't really want to see according to smoke-free lists, maps, and data, because I don't need that title in my regular sentence. What's the distinction if you're asking that? Do you think it's important? At this point, I wanted my reader to know that this guy said this. Therefore, his name goes in the sentence. Here, it's unimportant that Saad wrote this. What is important about that information? The data itself. Very good, Josiah. The data is important. Her name's not important, so it goes in parentheses. Okay? That's about it. That was a really useful discussion about MLA. You guys are hitting on all the sophisticated aspects of it. I hope it's fairly clear, but you will have time now for the remainder of class to work together with your partner, and I see no absences. Sweet. So everybody's partner and group is here. Remember that you are writing your own affirmative summary. However, you should discuss with your partner's research and how you might write it and help each other. Mrs. Kozak and I will be available for your help. Just ask us for the assistance on any of these issues, writing the summary, MLA format, and such. We're not necessarily going to look over your shoulder and bother you. You feel free to bother us. Okay? That's that.